Hi, welcome to a Menno Minute. My name is Jordan Farrell and I'm the pastor at Beth-El Mennonite Church. On this Menno Minute, I'm going to try to answer that wonderfully curious question, what's a Mennonite? We could try and answer this great question in a few different ways. We could start by being a little snarky and saying that Mennonites are just a group of guys who walk around at night or who wear medieval armor, sit at a round table. We could crack open a history book. We could talk about how Mennonites are part of the Anabaptist movement that developed within Christianity in the late 1500s, which would mean historically that Mennonites are neither Catholic nor Protestant. Or we could point to a written statement of faith, like one of the ones right here, and we could try to use that to explain Mennonites. This answer is a bit more complicated than you might think, simply because there are so many Mennonite confessions to choose from. We could answer this question with some sass. We could answer this question with some history. We could try and answer this question with some words about communally lived belief. I think the most helpful response, though, is a response that weaves all three of those together. Over the years, I've learned that a good way to describe Mennonites is to say that Mennonites are kind of like Catholics. Mennonites are a bit like Catholics because they're both followers of Jesus, who believe that the God of Abraham and Sarah is physically present in the world. The main difference between us is that whereas Catholics see God's physical presence in the Eucharist, Mennonites, we see God's physical presence in our shared life together as a community of faith. Here's what I mean by that. At Beth-El Mennonite Church, we are a community of people seeking to follow Jesus together. And as we seek to follow Jesus together, we learn to give and to receive difficult gifts like love and peace. And when we learn to share these difficult gifts like love and peace, we are learning to give and to receive God's very presence. We're learning to give and receive God's love, God's peace. Or as the Apostle Paul writes in 1 Corinthians chapter 12, that as we follow Jesus together, we are being transformed into the body of Christ together. And once you see this aspect of who we are, then so many of our other distinctives begin to make a bit more sense. Like for example, the connection between following Jesus and the commitment to nonviolent active peacemaking starts to become clearer. Because if God is present in and through my neighbor, that means I should not kill my neighbor, because then I would be killing the presence of God. There are a number of other distinctives that start to make a bit more sense once you see this part of who we are. But we'll leave those for another video. Thanks for stopping by for this Menno Minute.